Hello guys. I know I haven't been making a lot of videos. I got a little bit frustrated with the legend changes, and especially we're still waiting for the Dark and Light legend. When that hits, I'm going to play more seriously. But I'm going to start doing a few more videos. A lot of you wanted me to keep doing content. So let's start talking about the patch notes. As always, I go in it fast and then I'll go back. If you want to see a specific thing, just skip where you see that in the thumbnail. So first thing, we have a new Dark character. Her kit sounds very interesting, but she will require a lot of conditioning to be good. They've done some buffs to Chrono. Honestly, makes him very cool. I think there's some uses in Mono Thunder, but outside of that, it's more going to be in COT where he might actually shine. Then we have a bunch of skins. Sadly, I have to say the Luca one is not that bad. It seems they're going through some sort of storyline about dancing. I don't fully get the whole point of this. They're adding stories. They're also doing a discount on all of these skins. Um, I don't think I have the Asilla one. I might get that, but except for that, yeah, it's pretty basic. They're doing the new drop rate. They're talking about the Chain Helper now in the patch notes. There's a little balancing in reflect damage to stop a few abuses in High League, and there's a few small bug fixes. So let's get down in detail. It's a pretty short patch note, so it shouldn't take too long. The first thing is we have this new player who just, I don't know, man. It looks like a 80s disco thing. Maybe it's me, or maybe even before that. Anyway, so the player is Ignis. I feel that really sounds to me like a male name. I'm sorry. Um, so Ace, increase max life and pass effect with dark players. It's okay, but you're never gonna use it. Active forward pass, recover the action bar by 30%, increase receiving pass by 30 and penetration by 20. That's honestly pretty good, especially for someone that doesn't have an EE yet, knowing that those stats are going to go up on EE. Overall, it's pretty cool to see a triple effect pass. Passive 1. Recover the life of allies on the vertical line first when the enemy in the vertical line fails to penetrate through you. Again, it says vertical line fail, so there might be something that co-op would not actually be good on her. Someone will need to test that, but the idea here is, again, she forward passes, they need to penetrate. So it can't be in backline, she needs to forward pass, so it needs to be in midline, meaning she's supposed to be used as a dark center mid. There is Lynbell, there is Metatron, those are the best dark center mids, and I still think they beat her. But it's an idea, it's original. I'm not saying no to try new things, but I don't think it's going to be able to work. The thing is, she needs to block a penetration, meaning she needs to be tanky enough to have the heals to survive it. She's only going to heal 20%, so 10% in PvP. 10% heal means that you got to take like 80-90% damage reduction for this to work. I mean, hell, even center mid Duke, who I usually have around 80% DR with all the buffs, still doesn't survive that long. No pain, no gain. Recover spirit by 30%, reduce inflicted damage by 30% when attacked. Well, yeah, that's good. Devotion 2, increase the attack bar by 30%, action speed by 20% of allies within designated position. Again, the kit is overall good, but the idea of having her as a center mid forward passer compared to the other great units Dark has is just not that attractive, at least to me. Again, of course, you could try to combo this with something like a Celestia, Metatron, and then her. It might be more interesting, but then you have a reflex problem. Overall, it just doesn't work that well. Um, Reverse Chain, Lindbell. Well, I mean, Lindbell, it's kind of her slot. Lindbergh, why not? That's going to be useful. Friendship, nothing good, honestly. Competition, Black Horns, if you're using him. I don't know if he's that great. From what I saw, Ravian, you should have never used that. Fighting Spirit, Erica, Ravian. Wait, she's in two chains for Ravian? That just sounds weird. That just like, why would you be in two chains? Okay, I'm not gonna question this. This is Ravian, so they're like, we need to give her so many chains becomes good. Now Chrono, Thunder, the super boss. If you don't own him, you're not gonna own him that much. But is he a super boss? I'm not even 100% sure which one of the two he is. Well, let's just go down the skills. Increase critical damage by 20% and damage done by 15 of designated blah blah blah. Pretty much you're increasing the critical damage and the increased damage. Um, yeah, it's good. The problem is that normally this is supposed to be affecting the goalkeeper. Instead, it affects the striker. And because of that, if the striker dies, he loses the buff, and it's a 20-minute buff. So this is why this is in the best skill, but increasing it is cool, though. Skill effect, Delusion, decrease the damage. Yeah, okay. When being penetrated or when being penetrated, it's like, I don't even see the difference. I feel it's like just changing the description. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they're changing it to ADE. Decrease incoming damage allowed in position by 25% when they're being penetrated. Initially recover 10% for every ally attacked. So from what I'm understanding of this, they're getting some DR when they're getting penetrated, all of the allies, and Chrono is getting back 10% live. PvE, especially COT, this might have some interesting value. In PvP, especially since Chrono is normally used in frontline, I don't really see a big value in him having a lot of life because he's not really going to block. And if you're blocking, that usually means that you're giving a chance for the frontline to get all their action bar back, who's never a good idea. Then skin-wise, Nas, I don't know. I don't like the skin. I don't know why. Maybe it's the giant boots. I don't know. I don't like the skin. I mean, this one's not that bad. They're talking about the skin discounts. You guys can read down the little text they have, but there's a 25% discount for all of the music based. I don't know why they wouldn't just take all of the music ones though. I mean, for example, we know Hero has a guitar thing, Leia has a thing. Why is Leia not here? People, what is going on? Next thing we have the draws. So we have Victoria, Beatrice, Iggy, Black Ivy, Ignis, William, Presti. Well, if you're dark, this is a good week. Presti's always great. Ignis, if you want to test her out. If you're Ardor, William, Victoria, two key players. And if you're Rainbow, Victoria is still key. Black Ivy in certain comps can work. Presti's also close to meta, depending if you're using her or Glade. So overall, this is a good week for those players. The following week, we have Chundo, Silk, Robin, Sammy, Asakura, Leventor, and Nabi. This is another great week for Ardor. Chundo, I can never pronounce this. Very good player for Ardor. Nabi, if used her correctly, is great. I have her myself, so I can tell you she has some great uses, especially her reduced healing is insanely useful in PvE. Silk if you're Wormwind, but I don't think you should draw just for Silk. Same with Robin, same with Sammy, same with Asakura. So basically, you gotta either be Ardor or you gotta be Thunder, missing that Leventor. Anything else should really not draw this week. Chain helper rotation, so I don't think they would put New Star in here. I'm kind of surprised. We got Nabi, my kind of owner, Jean, Rudiel, Vivid, Robin, Chiffon, Scorn, Hercules, Alice, Black Hordes. Again, the only ones you should really care in this list are going to be Nabi, just because doing the chains with Nabi is going to be a pain in the ass if you don't own her. It is very expensive since she's a legendary. I think it's 100 crystal chains, so only do the chains with your main players or your legends, but that's all where you should do it. Same with Alice. I don't know how much it is for a non-legend. I do think they might be the same price though. So yeah, those two are the ones you should be looking at in case you don't own them, especially since Alice is a super boss, meaning she's like even worse to get than a legend. Well, it depends how much money you pay in this game, kind of the deal. Armel has become classic. Honestly, if you're light, if you're dark, if you run a Vonchi, if you want something broken and you're tired of the two passer front, get her. Totally worth it. You can now scout her, just burn that gold on scout and get ready to spend that GP. Now, a small balancing. Now, it is good and bad at the same time, depending on what you used to run. And this does counter a very prominent meta that we could see in High League with a center mid Duke, usually a curl and something else on the side. And that usually was very hard to break just because through the reflect damage and the great DR that my base Duke had, it would actually allow him to keep the ball and usually kill the person penetrating or trying to steal from him. So this is kind of why they're doing it, because this is a very annoying comp that can exist. Overall, it does kill a few COT comps, for example, one being Duke as the goalkeeper, but it doesn't hurt it that much. It's only 10%. So assisters lose reflect. I'm completely fine with that. Assisters should not have that much reflex in the first place. Attackers lose 10%. Okay, well, it was broken 95%. We can all agree. That was pretty much equivalent of them attacking anyway. And the leaders have actually gone back up to 70%. As a lot of you know, back in the day, Bell used to be a center mid, and that kind of messed up because of these changes a long time ago. So they're bringing this back. Overall, I want to point out this means they're buffing Leia, so I'm not that sad. But yeah. And then there's pretty much two little bug fixes. And the value of, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this anymore. They're just saying skill not increasing as skill level increases. And well, now it's increased. So, yep, another 15% pass effect and 10% receive pass effect. That never hurts. And they've changed the requirements for Grandeur. I don't really think this is a smart idea, just because it's much easier to get these than have to do this during the exact week. But then again, if you're during that week, it's less annoying. So just whenever you get Grandeur, evolve her, I guess. That's what they're trying to say. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And as always, thanks the person who posted up. In this case, it was Kazu. If you have any question, comment, just put him down in the comments below. And have a good day, guys.